And now, get ready for some sports talk with Denny Mclain.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you.
And here's your host, Denny Mclain.
Hi, good morning. I'm Denny Mclain.
And I'm Ron Cameron. Welcome to another edition of Sports Talk.
Yes, sir, indeed. Today, Sue the Terminator, or will he be terminated? Hall of Fame candidates. This is going to be a real joke this year, folks. Get ready for some stunning upsets when it comes to the Hall of Fame. And as a matter of fact, somebody with our Detroit club may sneak in because of all the other problems that these guys have had. Michigan and Trumbull, we got a story for you today that you're not going to believe. $3.8 million is at hand. And why can't anybody buy the corner at Michigan and Trumbull with real money? We'll tell you why not. And then we've got questions from the audience. Mr. Sue.
Mr. Sue. What about Mr. Sue? A boy named Sue. What? Mrs. Sue. He's playing like Mrs. Sue this year until he kicked the quarterback.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Listen, here's my question.
Yeah.
He gets a $30,000 fine.
Yeah.
If you're going to fine him, you got to suspend him. It doesn't make sense. In other words, you're saying, well, just in case he kicked him on purpose, let's fine him $30,000. There's no question that he hit the guy in the wackos twice.
Question, yeah.
No question about it. On purpose, I don't think the first one was on purpose. I think the second one, all of a sudden, in that split second, he said, ooh, man, I got a shot here.
Well, let's give him another one.
And he took his shot. That's what I think. I also believe that here's a guy making $40 million, and he's got incentives to make $68 million.
He'll never hit those incentives.
Where is his name? He's disappeared from the football. That's
what I just said. He's playing like Mrs. Sue right now.
But my point is this. He is not mentioned during the broadcast anymore.
Because he's not doing anything when he's cheap shots.
But wait a minute, except for cheap shots. That's exactly right.
First of all, they should have fined him. They should have suspended him, and they should have suspended him with the saying, you're going to take anger management. Then we'll reinstate you. But until you take it, you're not going to be reinstated.
But who at the Lions is going to
Nobody's got enough guts to do that.
I mean,
Denny?
the coach.
No guts.
And, you know, I've always defended this coach. You know
can't defend him on this one, Denny.
I have.
You cannot defend him on this one.
No, I'm not defending him on this one because I think some of the statements he made were disingenuous at best to try to fool the public about what a great season he's having. He just had his greatest game a week or two ago.
Which was
Come on, there was no great game. And on top of that, Coach, we're losing.
Yeah.
We're not winning. We're 4-7, not 7-4.
But Denny, he said he's been a model citizen this year. That's a model citizen?
I've got a theory. When guys' behavior all of a sudden changed dramatically. My theory is that you are deteriorating with your skills. That's always been my theory.
At 23, 24 years of old, deteriorate? How can you?
Listen, let me point something out. When I was still playing ball and I was with the Washington Senators and I knew that I was getting near the end, I got a lot more quiet in the clubhouse.
You didn't want anybody to hear you.
You didn't want to let anybody know you were still around making a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's my point. He has gotten quiet. Yet he pops off the other day about, and here's the thing that bothers me with Sue. He didn't apologize to the guy. You know, if
he said, they knocked me down.
Yeah, but my point is, even if he did it not purposefully, apologize. Apologize to the fans, apologize to the league, and do the right thing. But there's nothing right about what he's done here.
Head's too big. He's an idiot. They're not going to do anything to me. And what about Matthew Stafford's wife tweeting and saying...
Not a wife.
No, I'm sorry, wrong. His girlfriend. You know what his girlfriend said? He said, well, if I was Sue, I'd have cussed that policeman out. He's obviously on a power trip to get Sue. Was she there? How does she know? Shut up.
Well, we've made another fan for the show.
Yeah, she's not a fan, obviously.
You know, listen, people...
what is she trying to prove by doing that?
Well, listen, she's defending a player. Wives do that.
Not their player. It was,
come on.
it was another player.
I don't know what's going to happen with the game Sunday. I have no idea. I'm not sure if they're going to win another game
I
this
say
year.
they're going to win. You and your 10-11 wins, Denny.
Listen, Lions.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Listen, Lions. I told you in the beginning of the year you're going to win 10.
Or 11. No,
Now
you
we
said 10
got
or 11.
10
Don't
11.
give me that 10.
Now we got to play another 10 games to win 10. I mean, I'm
Denny,
disappointed.
we'll give you next year
All right,
to,
let's
to
get to
get
the
on the 10-11 wins. By next season, at the end of the year, they'll have 10-11 wins.
Let's get to the Hall of Fame because there's nothing Hall of Fame-ish going on with our Lions right now. Listen, folks, we got Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Sammy Sosa, Curt Schilling, Rafael Palmeiro, Mark McGuire, Mike Piazza, who will never get in the Hall of Fame, Biagio with Houston.
Okay, Biggio. Yeah.
Biggio.
He's in.
McGriff is a possibility. And
Crime
and
Dog
Lee
is not
Smith.
going to get in.
Here, wait a minute. Jack Morris.
Oh, God.
Because of all of these guys who have been, guilty of using the red juice, this stuff that pumped them up like beyond belief, Morris has got a chance of slipping into the Hall of Fame this year. If the writers vote the way we hear they're voting, in fact, Morris could get in. The only one that may get him is Biggio, because Biggio was a hell of a player. And I'll tell you something else. People don't realize.
All-star.
He had 3,000 hits.
3-position All-Star. 3 positions on the
But
field.
3,000 hits, that's pretty dramatic. I don't know how they don't let Biggio in.
Oh, they'll let him. He'll get in.
I suppose Jack's best shot will eventually be with the committee, the Hall of Famer committee.
McGriff was a good player, but that Crime Dog's not a
But
Hall
we're
of
not
Famer.
talking about Hall of Fame there.
No, he's not. He's a Crime Dog guy.
But the other guys, you're talking Hall of Fame. I mean, they legitimately, most of these guys are Hall of Famers anyway. But I don't know how you put them in.
Then I have a question for you. If Jack, oh God, if he gets in, but if Jack Morris gets in, that'll go right to his head. His head's already twice the size of this room.
Now, why do you say that?
He's a.
Amen, brother. What do you can't, first of all, you can't use that language on the air.
I just did.
Okay. Number two, Jack was never one to ingratiate himself with
No,
anybody.
no,
to say
not
the
at
least.
all.
I will tell you what I noticed the last couple of years.
He's trying to get real nice now so he gets in the hall. Oh, yeah.
He's kissing more butt.
Yes, he is now.
He's kissing more butt than 2 sheep in an open field. and I got to tell
Dude,
you.
that's what they do in the open field?
I guess that's what I heard.
didn't know.
Got to be Irish to understand it. I'm Irish. But what you got to understand is when you get near the Hall of Fame and you got a chance, or you're going to run out of the window, the 15 or 20 year window.
You're on your knees.
You really are if you've got a chance. And Jack is kind
on his knees.
of bending down right now and asking for
Please,
some kind of
please.
forgiveness. But you know what? He was a great pitcher. He was a great competitor.
2 ERA was too high.
He was the guy that you wanted out there when you had a big ball game during the 80s.
Most of the time.
And you know what? Without him in 84, I'm not sure if they win it.
I'll go along with that, but his ERA is 3.9. You don't get it with an ERA
that's
like
right.
that.
It's just under
Too
4.
high.
That surprised me when I was looking at
They
the
score a lot of.
We got 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Listen, the Pistons.
Yeah.
The Pistons are, believe it or not, you can buy online a ticket to a Pistons game for $1. $5.
Tiger games were $2.50 last year.
Listen to me, $1.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we were talking to a guy the other day, said he bought 2 tickets for less than $1 a piece, online.
Denny, here's
The
the funny
Pistons,
thing.
guys, we got to wrap it up here.
I know you do.
They got to tighten it up. And I, listen, they've won a few ball
They're
games lately.
going to be fine.
And I think eventually, maybe not during our lifetime, but they'll be fine.
Quickly
again.
before we go.
We got to go.
Behind the Piston bench, I was
We
sitting.
gotta go.
I talked to a Canadian, paid $1,200 a piece for 3 tickets. $3,600 for 3 tickets.
Who you can multiply. We'll be right back with the story of the day, Michigan and Trumbull, the old Tiger Stadium. Welcome back. We haven't heard a lot about the corner of Trumbull and Michigan in a long time, the old Tiger Stadium. There's a lot going on the corner. And with us today is Dave Mesry, who's one of the volunteers that takes care of the corner. They go out there and they cut the grass. They do all kinds of maintenance stuff so other people can go out there and play and walk across and take pictures and everything else. And I guess it's technically illegal. First of all, welcome to our show today. And right, first of all, it's illegal.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but
Denny, don't start that. No.
you can make a case that we're trespassing. I would argue that we're not. We're just maintaining the property.
Well, nobody's jerking with you anymore. I mean,
Now they
none of
might
them
after
are.
listening to you.
Nah,
they might.
they won't.
No one's bothered us lately. No.
All right, tell me about the group first of all that takes care of the field, and tell the folks who are watching what they can do with the ballpark down there.
Well, we call ourselves the Navin Field Grounds Crew. You know, when Tiger Stadium opened 100 years ago. No, when Tiger Stadium opened in 1912, 100 years ago, it was called Navin Field after the owner, Frank Navin. And it was demolished in September of 2009. And the following spring, right after Ernie Harwell died, a group of us showed up at the field, and we were looking around, and at that point the grass had gotten pretty tall, the weeds were growing pretty high, and there was garbage everywhere.
Well, you know, it's amazing.
Wait, let him finish. This is really important.
So I met a fella down there by the name of Tom Derry, and he said that he had a riding mower, and maybe he should just come and cut the grass. And the following Sunday, I think it was Mother's Day, 2010, Tom showed up with his riding mower, and a group of us sort of followed him around. He was the Pied Piper, you know. He's I call him the head groundskeeper, Tom Derry, head groundskeeper of the Navin Field Grounds Crew. He made us these fine T-shirts here.
They're nice.
Yeah, this is so Tom's the driving force. I call him the head groundskeeper, and we're a real grassroots operation.
Now
Yes, you are. Grassroots is the right
You were at
term.
the city council when Ernie Harwell was supposed to go down there to save the ballpark, and the city council made an appointment with Ernie to go there. Ernie couldn't. He said, "Ron, I can't go down. My wife's ill. I got to take her to the hospital." So they said, "Well, we're going to delay this for a while about the ballpark. We want to save the ballpark if we can." And Martha Reeves was there, and she says, "What's wrong with her?" She said, "Oh, they're going to tear down the ballpark? Been doing it for years, Martha. You were there."
I was there that day, but that's old news. I mean, the state.
That's real old news. Let me get to the
Yeah.
point of why he's here today. I was at a meeting a short time ago, and I won't identify everybody because the other side doesn't want to identify anybody. There's a guy named George Jackson, works for the city in some form, but nobody quite understands. He's kind of a surreptitious, undercover CIA operative of some kind. And recently, the parade company, according to all of these people who are really in the know, offered $1 million for that corner. $1 million.
Okay.
Financed over a period of time if they could find the money. That's essentially the way it broke down. Well, there's another group called the Conservancy Group, right? The guys that really are concerned with that corner.
Yes.
They offered $3 million cash, and we're told to get the hell out of the office, essentially.
Why?
We don't know. That's why we're talking about this today. There's a $3 million bid, and the guys from the Conservancy, they want to do good things with that corner. They don't want to sell it to somebody else. By the way, according to our people that we sat with that day, all the big companies have made offers on the property, and nobody made an offer on the property because the property they thought was useless at that point in time. Right. So where is it at this point in time? This thing has got no exposure at all, and that's the thing that bothers me. There's $1 million from the parade company, which they don't have. Now we got somebody with $3 million. I mean, isn't that simple arithmetic?
Well, the parade company offer, as I understand, was somewhere between $800,000 and $900,000. The proposal, we don't know all the details of it yet. It's my understanding that they would build a warehouse in the outfield to house their floats, and also it would shrink down the Major League infield, which is a unique infield, I should say.
Very much so.
It's in the same spot that it's been for 100 years.
Right.
In New York, when they tore down Old Yankee Stadium, on the site now is a public park called Heritage Field. Which,
the infield site's still right there.
Well, the thing is, the infield is not quite in the same position. As I understand, it's been moved about 60 feet to accommodate a Little League diamond in center field and a softball diamond down the right field line. And that's something, it could be an inspiration for Detroit, what they've done in New York there. But also, in addition to the parade company's plan, there's also, as I understand, Major League Baseball operates a number of what they call urban youth academies across America. There's one in Compton, there's one in Houston. They may be opening new ones in Philadelphia.
So the one in
Cincinnati.
Compton when I was out there.
Got it. And so it's my understanding Major League Baseball would like to open one of those at the site of Old Tiger Stadium.
There was also talk that they were going to build the Red Wing new arena was going to be on Michigan and Trumbull. It's not. It's going on Woodward and Temple, and that announcement's going to be made, I would think, in the next couple weeks, folks. I can tell you that.
And that's news to me. I haven't heard
Yes.
that yet. And as far as the Conservancy, their offer was,
the Conservancy is made up of some top people in this town.
Lawyers, what do you say?
I mean, people with big muscle. Why haven't they tried to move the ball, or are they trying to move the ball forward?
Well, I think the Conservancy and the city have tried to work together on multiple occasions, and they just haven't come up with the right plan yet. They're the group in charge of the earmark. There's a $3.8 million
and that's
earmark.
federal money. The $3.8 million is federal
Correct.
money.
Yep.
Now they're taking $800,000 of it and allowing people to ask for grants down in the area,
Corktown,
right?
right.
I mean, they're
Corktown.
actually filling out complete grants and some of them are being awarded money as we sit here today.
That's my understanding, and then the rest of it is still in play. What's going to happen to that money? I don't know. I can't speak to that. I only speak,
Well, I can tell you the $3 million will run out in a short period of time. The money's got to be used, and I think in the next 18 or 24 months at the most, and the money goes back to the federal government if it's not used.
What's your long-range plan
let me say one more thing. Yeah. So what that means is whoever is sitting at the top of this pile at this point in time, Mr. Jackson or who he represents, because Mr. Jackson won't tell you who he represents, and to say he represents a city can only be disingenuous at best, right?
Well, that's not my understanding. I mean, George is the head of the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. It's a quasi-governmental agency.
Quasi?
Yeah.
CIA.
George reports to Mayor Bing, and I've spoken with George in the past, and whatever happens on the site, we'd like to help maintain the field.
That's my question. What's your job going to be, and what do you anticipate?
I don't know. And then we're just volunteers, Ron. We don't really have an official capacity. We weren't.
You want one though?
No, they don't. They want to save the ground. They want to save it.
We just want to preserve the field. That's all that's left. The only thing left in addition to the field is the flagpole out in center field. That's the only physical remnant of the stadium, but the infield itself is where it's been for 100 years. We really enjoy maintaining it. Again, we're just amateurs. We're not professional groundskeepers.
Well, I'll tell you, the last time I was out there, I was never so impressed during the summer. Of course, it was like 140 in the shade out there.
Kids are playing ball out there.
That's not only that. It's these guys going out there with lawnmowers and shovels and rakes and hose and I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of work that they do. And you could actually play a good game of baseball on the field. That's how good it is. Yeah. I mean, they work their butts off. I can't, and they do it every week.
And you don't get paid.
No, we don't get paid. But
there's no money.
And I mean, Tom Deary's put his heart and soul into this effort, and we've just sort of marched to his beat.
Now tell the people where they can get more information about this.
Well, we have a Facebook page. If you look for us on Facebook, we're the Naven Field Grounds Crew, so just look for us there. And if you'd like our page, we'd love to have you come down. We're down there every Sunday, so if your viewers are watching now, come on down to the field after the show.
That's right. So if you want to be a volunteer, come down. You don't have to come every week, every day. Just come once in a while and help them out on a Sunday. Cut the grass or move the dirt around and what have you. I'm going to tell you, it's something to behold. I've been down there.
It's really become a tourist attraction.
It really has.
People come from all over the world to see it.
A lot of Japanese people with little cameras.
What's the next step here for the whole thing?
I don't know, Ron. Your guess is as good as mine. We're waiting to see what happens next, but we'd love to help.
All we're trying to do today is get some attention for the money. There's $3 million. Let's use it. Let's buy the corner and move forward. But somebody who George Jackson may or may not be associated with, certainly Bing knows what they want to do with it, but nobody's forthcoming, and that's disappointing, especially David. David's been a hero of mine in this town for a long time,
me
none of us get any information.
But Dave might not run for re-election.
He's not going to run for re-election. Nope. We shall be right back after this. There's so much controversy going down at the corner, as you saw in our last segment, but somebody else has created a little bit more is Joe Benghauser, and Joe is doing some things with some signs down there. And Joe, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, tell us the purpose behind the one sign, which everybody will be able to see here in a second. It says, "Coming soon, Naven Auto Sales."
Yeah, that's correct. The sign was really meant to engage the community in a discussion about land use, which is a big topic in Detroit, also ownership and just the heritage of the space.
What kind of negativity have you received from anybody? Any of the guys that own the saloons down there or anything jumped on you? Do they agree with it?
I haven't heard from the saloons. I have heard from a number of people from the community, and there has been a lot of backlash about the sign, and that was kind of the point, to start that discussion about what's good for that space and keep the community talking, keep that conversation going, because I think there is a gap between the people that control the space, what they would like to do with it, and what the community would like.
Well, there was a lot of talk for a while that the Red Wings were going to move there. In fact, they're going to, instead of Temple and Woodward is where they're going to be now for the new arena. But they were considering that, or at least I was told they were considering that. Would that have been a good place for it?
I would have. I don't know. Good question.
But they can go anywhere. And they're going to still draw the same 20,000 people every night. I don't care if they go to the upper UP.
Oh, they won't draw up there.
Oh, yes, they will. If you're a hockey fan, you're going to see the Red Wings. Listen, the negativity. People misunderstood what you were doing, obviously.
I think so, yeah.
Because no one could disagree with your purpose here.
Right. No, and the point was really to add value to the space. I mean, you have the ball field still.
Right.
There's still the flagpole and the fence, but other than that, there's nothing acknowledging just the rich history of the space, which means a lot to so many people.
Listen, not only so many people and fans, but to the players that played here too. It means a great deal. I didn't realize how much that I had missed the ballpark until I went down there with your crew down there once with Dave Mesry and those guys, and watched them work on the field. And you know what? I stood in the middle of the pitcher's mound and looked around, and I said, it is so hard. It's impossible to believe it's all gone.
Oh yeah, and I think everyone that goes to that field that's a fan of the baseball, they do so with a certain amount of reverence and with that in mind. Absolutely. And I think it's important to have something there to let them reflect on that.
Now you're doing another thing here for you're trying to push a program for Ernie Harwell.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to raise money for an Ernie Harwell memorial that would exist at that space. Again, just adding value to the space, putting something in there that acknowledges that rich history, giving people something to reflect on.
What would it be? Just a plaque, or would it be something of substance, more substance?
It would be a bust of Ernie.
Not a little museum or something like Ernie wanted to put a museum in there.
And I mean, that's another discussion to be had. That's kind of out of my scope right now, but I just want to continue this movement to have something of substance.
Keep the memory alive.
You know, I would think that raising money for the Ernie Harwell Memorial of some kind would be a chip shot. I mean, that's got to be pretty easy. Go to Blue Cross Blue Shield and just say, listen, we need a couple $100,000 to put a memorial. I would think that you'd have the check before you left the door. Here's my point, though. You got to get permission from a lot of people to do this.
I agree.
And I don't think, based upon what we heard from Dave Mesry and heard from others, talked to legislators in the state and otherwise and elsewhere, the legislators want to see it done, but they can't get it done because of what's going on in City Hall in Detroit.
No, I agree, and that goes back to that disconnect between what I think a lot of us and those in the community would like to happen there and the people who are controlling it, and that's why I think it's important to keep the discussion going. And I have spoken with some businesses and in the hopes that maybe
they want to support you a little bit,
or McShane's across the way expressed interest,
right,
that maybe they could have it. It could still be on the corner, obviously not the correct corner, but to try and facilitate this still.
I mean, what a boom it would be for the people who work there, people who own the facilities down there. I mean, the traffic. I mean, I assume that you still go out with some of the guys on Sundays and work on the field.
I haven't been with the grounds crew yet, but I would like to, definitely.
Yeah. What do you do for a living?
I'm a graphic designer.
Oh, are you really?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, this is right up your alley. Huh? Have you talked to anyone in the Harwell family?
Not yet. I'm hoping to hear from Bill in the next couple of days, Bill Harwell.
Well, we just participated with Billy recently in a big Ernie Harwell auction, which was a huge success. And Bill is one of the more gracious guys I've met in a long time. Unfortunately, the trustee is kind of complicated with the whole Ernie Harwell trust, with stuff being at the library. For whatever reason, it's at the library, folks.
Well, he donated to the library.
I know he donated, but you can't see it. If you can't hire somebody to let people in every day, why the hell have it there?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But you're right about one thing. If some kind of a monument could be built, it makes so much more sense for everybody. Listen, one thing about Ernie's treasures, and they are treasures, they are such links to the past. They border on incredible. And it's just too bad we don't have the ability to see it all the time. Joe, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great. We wish you all the best. Anything new, let us know. And you need any more help, let us know. Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Joe. We'll be back in a few minutes with questions. Welcome back. We're going to take some questions now. Your name and where are you from?
Christine Walford from Canton, Michigan.
Canton?
Not Canton, Ohio?
No.
Oh.
First, I'd just like to thank you, Denny. I go to some auctions and I see baseball signed by you that you've donated for auctions.
Well,
so
thank you.
I think
Thank you
that's
very
very nice of you to do that.
Thank you.
I have an interesting question. I just finished reading Greg Allman's autobiography, and as you know, he's quite the organ player. And I was wondering if you have any plans of you two doing a duo on the
You're an organ player,
the organ.
yeah.
No, I met Greg once too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, many 100 years ago, and he was crazier then than he is now, to say the least. But you know, the band that they had, the group that they had, the traveling they did, the craziness that they did. I know they talk about the Rolling Stones and all those guys, but these guys lived at a different level than anybody have lived in a long time.
By the way, you played the organ in some establishments in town.
Played all over the country.
You and Leon Spinks were together in what?
Leon did work with us at one time at a facility, and Leon
had some problems.
Was great. And
he's a great guy.
Leon's
a fun guy.
Just a fun guy. I mean, Leon.
He had me sued for $100,000 in the bar one day.
He sued you for $100,000?
Yeah, well, no.
Did you pay him?
I had a bar that I was selling, and I never got my money on it. And Leon went in and asked for a job. They got him a job as bartender. A lady walked in one night and said, "Can I get this?" He said, "Hey, wait, you're Leon Spinks." Leon flashed a toothless grin. He said, "Yeah, you cost me $1,000 when you took that dive against Ali." She slapped him. Leon called up and knocked her out.
Well,
and they sued me for $100,000 and Leon for $100,000. But it was a corporation suit, so I didn't have to pay anything.
So you stiffed the woman?
No, I didn't stiff the woman. What they sued me for? The lawsuit said that I should have stopped the fight. Number one, I hadn't been in the bar.
Well, sure, you should have stopped the fight.
How can I stop the fight? What do I do? I'm not in the bar.
Well, you got to be there. And that's the reason why you got to shut down the bar. If you're not there, your money walks out the door.
No,
Let's take another
sold the
question.
bar. That's
please,
what I
please,
did.
please. David, it's your turn, big boy.
My name is Huck Bumbley from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm just wondering, is that the set of the Merv Griffin show?
No, this is not the set from the Merv Griffin show.
What kind of a statement was that? Was that?
It may be the Griffin Merv show, but not the Merv Griffin show. You know what? I'll tell you real quick. By the way, let me just get this out. I don't know how much time we got left. The bottom line is this: we tape here every Thursday at WADL.
Every
Studios.
Friday.
Every Friday. And
we
want to
tape,
invite you down and see the show.
Yeah.
Normally we have food and some beverages and what have you.
Normally.
And we just zip it.
Normally.
And we have a great time down here. So if you want to come down, have some laughs, see him get naked. No, I'm only kidding. He doesn't get totally naked. And,
then he does, though.
And come on down and have some laughs with us. And if you got some autographs you need signed and what have you, Ron will be happy to sign them if I'm not here.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
We tape at 3 o'clock on Fridays normally. And if you can, come on down. Normally we have guests, as you know. And I think when we come back on this next week, I think we've got either Dan Peachtree or Dave Rosema. Yeah. I mean, and unless
they're hilarious.
Rosema is beyond incredible when he gets going. I mean, when you get his engine cranked, he's about the funniest guy in town. Good guy too, really a good guy.
Come by next Friday, be a part of the show.
One other thing, I want to get one.
Tell them where we're located.
We're at
15 Mile between Gratiot.
Well, why would you ask me to tell them where it is?
Because
if you're
you
weren't
sure, and I want to let them know where we are.
We're on 15 Mile, a quarter mile east of Gratiot. Just look for the big antenna. It's about 1,500 feet high when you get near Gratiot and 15. You cannot miss it. It's
Friday,
east.
2:30.
It's east of Gratiot, and if you come about 2:30, 2:45, and make sure you get a seat.
We'll have a nice seat here for you.
Absolutely. One other thing before we close. The thing in New York, real quick, Tebow and Sanchez.
Yeah.
They've identified it was Cromartie who made all the nasty comments about Tebow. I don't like guys doing that. Of course, now he's been exposed. But there's one thing about it. He's right. Tebow's not a very good player.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can find a position for Tebow, that's fine, but quarterback, it's not going to be. And the reason I bring it up, it's the kind of thing that's going on with the Lions. And I hate like hell to see that because we don't have a disciplinarian with this football team, and I suggest to you things are going to crumble real bad here real soon.
This year.
This year. I believe it will. What do they say? The stuff's going to hit the fan, and you better not be around the fan because that stuff goes flying everywhere and will hit somebody. We thank you for tuning in this Sunday.
And you can tune me in this afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. on 11:30 a.m. WDFN. So tune me in then, and we'll talk to you next time on Sports Talk. Bye-bye.
Folks, we'll see you. Thank you.